Have you ever wondered why some project managers consistently outperform others? What if I told you that the secret doesn't lie in working harder, but in working smarter with a strategic yet simple tactics? In today's episode, we're diving deep into the art of becoming an invaluable, and I do mean invaluable project manager by mastering not the tools of the trade, but soft skills, processes, innovative approaches that can dramatically elevate your project outcome. So, family, today I hope you join me as I unravel these project, or I should say, powerful strategies, one bullet at a time, transforming the way that you lead and manage projects to have a successful overall project. If you're new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, and these 8 points, my goal, my mission, my objective is to unpack today's title, which is entitled How to Become More Valuable as a Project Manager. These tips may surprise you. Let's go ahead and cook. First point, optimize meeting efficiency. Now listen, family, the reason why we have to talk about this first is that when you are leading projects, you do have a lot of meetings. And one thing about a lot of meetings, you can burn out your stakeholders, let alone your stakeholders, it can burn you out. So having the ability when you are leading projects to one of the tips of the trades, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I'm going to put it in here anyway, is to have a purpose and an outcome. I learned that outcome aspect from Alex Hormozy because I always had like a purpose and an agenda, but okay, yeah, the agenda is great and you need it, but having an outcome, what am I here for? What do you need my time for? Because I could be working on another priority that has come up or that I need to attend to. So being able to set an outcome really along with the purpose of the meeting within the meeting invite is going to be huge. Listen, the purpose of this is being able to reduce time wasted in meetings, ensuring more time is spent on productive tasks. I don't know about you, family, but I don't know if you ever been to a meeting where you're asking yourself, why am I here? And then you when you go from why am I here, you start playing with your phone. By the time you look up, you don't even know what's going on the meeting. So I hope you take those recommendations. Family, I really wanted to let you know there's some new training coming next month. Right now, we're currently in March, so in April, the new training is going to be around CAPM questions. I know you guys been wanting me to unpack some CAPM questions, so I got you. Project artifacts. I know people wanted to know about like more about it. What is a business case? What is a project charter? How do I actually build a WBS? And why do I need a WBS? We're going to be talking about that. Also, I'm going to do some PMP questions, some project terminology. And really, family, the whole purpose of this is really to get you more indoctrined into the theories aspect of things, because as we know that the PMBOK, the project body of knowledge, is really a book what is allowing you to use certain aspects of the book. It doesn't mean that you got to apply everything. So we're really going to be unpacking that. I'm going to look at PMBOK 7, oh, I should say PMBOK 6, and then the addendum, which I don't know if they're calling it PMBOK 7 or what, but we're going to look at both of those books as well. We're going to be unpacking that. So stay tuned for that next month. I really think you guys are going to enjoy that. Just kind of see how my process is of unpacking questions mostly. We're going to have some fun with that. But all right, let's get back into the content. All right, point number 2, enhance and document communication with regular stakeholders. Listen, family, one of my mottos, what I stand on is documentation beats conversation. I'll say it again just for all my smart and the geniuses out here in the world. Documentation is going to beat conversation. One of the things that I see when I am mentoring new project managers or project managers who've been in this game for a little bit, uh, they don't really document extremely well. And it's not like they take people at at face value of them saying, yeah, I'm going to do that. No, 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 no. I don't want any miscommunication going back and forth. And now I'm arguing or having a political debate with you about a thing that you promised me. So to avoid all of that, to minimize that conflict, I'm just going to document what we talked about, whether it's in 3 bullet points and whether it's 1 bullet point, whatever it is, to be able to, so we're both getting value. You're holding me accountable for what I said I was going to deliver, and I'm holding you accountable for what you said that you were going to deliver. That is big, family. If you don't take away any of the rest of these points, being able to have documentation with proper conversation, just don't go documenting and you're not giving proper conversation with your stakeholders, because what's going to end up happening, they're going to say, I don't no, I'm not committing that. Get a commitment on the phone and then document that commitment. Point number 3, implement lean project management principles. Listen, this is basically what I'm saying here, family, is having the ability to eliminate waste in process. One of the things, if you ever want to get a laugh out of me, and I've shared this before multiple times, but I'll share it again, family, is when there's a problem, somebody will say, well, um, they will focus so much on the problem, or here's my other one, and don't even focus on the solution, or here's my other one, where they'll say, I'll ask them, so why are we doing this particular process? Could you give me some context on it? And it's like, well, no, I don't know why. We just always done it. I was like, but it's not useful. Yeah, I know, but it's just part of the steps. But who told you this? So I say all that to say, family, we have to be looking at the processes that we're navigating through. If it's not applicable, if it doesn't make sense, if you don't, and especially if you don't know why you're doing it, then why are you doing it? So what, just to check a checkbox, we don't do checkbox checking here. What we do is ensure that the process makes sense. So being able to streamline your project execution conserves resources and it delivers value to your client faster. Let's move on to point number 4. Continue to improve your project management toolbox. Ooh, message. This is my biggest one here. Reason why is, family, is I know I said previous there was one bigger that if you don't remember anything else, but this is another one. Project management is always continually to evolve. You have AI now that is really taking its place, and when I say taking its place, meaning is becoming more popular. Being popular meaning that now people want to test out different AI tools and things of that nature. So you need to be in those AI learning phases. What can I learn about AI? How can I make it applicable to project management? Can I use AI for project scheduling? Can I use AI for risk registers and issue logs and things of that nature? But the more you can build your toolbox and continuously learning different tools that are applicable to where you're currently at, then you need to definitely do that, family. Let's move on to point number 5. Foster a high performance team culture. Listen, one of the first things that you really want to do when you're engaging with your team, your stakeholders, is you want to set a clear expectation and provide constructive feedback. That is going to be key, because a lot of times project managers feel uncomfortable providing constructive feedback. The key word is constructive. It's not trying to make them feel less than. It's not trying to belittle them. It's not trying to make them feel like they're not part of the No, constructive meaning that giving feedback that they can use, that they can apply, that really makes sense. And again, you're talking about the work, not the person. Don't get that confused. We are focused on the work. So by doing this, you're going to be your team is going to feel more comfortable, because listen, one of my mottos is, I'll never stab you in the back. I'll always stab you in the front. Translation meaning that anything that I need to say behind your back, then that doesn't mean anything, because I'm going to say it to your face. I'm not going to talk behind your back about it. I'm going to give it to you straight, uncut. Professional though, I'm going to use professional. I'm going to use a professional context of when I'm speaking or writing to you. However, I'm going to let you know, because again, I want to see you successful. The more success you have, the more successful that I'm going to be. So why wouldn't I want to see you become successful? I truly believe that is the disconnect at times between stakeholders and the project manager, is because Sometimes stakeholders don't see that you really want to see them win, and by them winning, by default you end up winning. And also it really improves the team morale. Listen, productivity, they know where you stand, you know where they stand, so there's no gray area, there's no blurred vision. We have a true understanding. Let's move on to point number 6. Prioritize and delegate effectively. Listen, one of the tools that you can look into if you're curious, using an Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks based on urgency and important. Listen, you want to ensure though you delegate tasks that don't require your expertise, freeing you up to focus on high impacting activities. One of the benefits to this though, family, if you do this particular thing of using an Eisenhower matrix, and you don't have to use that because I don't use it all the time either, but what it really will do is the whole goal is to really increase your personal productivity as well as empowering your team and trusting them with particular responsibilities. Point number 7, leverage data for decision making. What does that mean? I know you like data. Yeah. One of the things you're going to have a lot of data that you're dealing with unless you have a project coordinator or you have a business analyst, but majority of the time you're probably going to have to be crunching a lot of data, and that could be anything from budgeting, it could be from milestones, meaning within your project schedule, or your resources. What does that look like as far as, are you going to have any particular resource constraints that may impact the project, any cost constraints, any scope constraints. So there's so many different constraints that can pop up, and so you have to be able to leverage data, not emotions, data, to actually improve the accuracy during planning, execution, that will allow you to have success on the project. Point number 8. This is big. You need to understand your change management process, or the change management process in your organization. You don't need to know it in detail because majority of the time there will be a change management board within the organization, but you need to know it enough where, you know, if you don't know, you need to be able to know who you need to contact with to go through the process for them to help you through the process. Let me explain why. If something comes up and you have to create a change, you want to be able to minimize disruption fast. So if a change come up, you want to be able to document that appropriately, and then being able to articulate that out to the stakeholders and saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and submit this change request, and this is the reason why we're submitting the change request, and then going through the actual process to get it documented. Again, you know, one of my key phrases, documentation is going to be conversation. So being able to document this change. So if your customer comes back and says, well, why did you guys make this change? And you say, oh, you don't recall, this is the reason why, and being able to provide them proper documentation. You know, I can't leave without giving you a bonus. So reason why I didn't put this in the original 8, because I talk about it so much, because it's so dear to my heart when we talk about this what I'm about to talk about now, which is promote cross-functional collaboration. Listen, the best projects that I've ever worked on was when we really collectively as a team, project team, we collaborate. When one of the stakeholders had a problem, we all had a problem. When we pitched in and the stakeholder was receptive to be able to make a decision based on the best solution for the particular problem. That is what makes an amazing team. When you have a team that is not looking to judge you, to belittle you, to make you feel uncomfortable about a particular problem that's up, they're jumping in and they're rolling up their sleeves and saying, how can I help? How can I support? What do you need? What is there something, basically what I'm saying is it really just encourage innovation and just a creative approach to problem solving by leveraging a diverse perspective of a particular team. Family, here's my closing remarks. You know, I want to leave you with 3 just in case if you got lost in the video. Here's my 3 closing remarks. Optimizing meeting efficiency. As we talked about, you have so many meetings in it. You don't want your meetings to get dull or feel like there's no real value there. So making sure that you keep an agenda, making sure that you have a purpose and an outcome of the meeting is going to be key. If you don't put together an agenda, at least have 1 to 3 points of what the outcome of the meeting. So when I show up, I have an expectation that the outcome of the meeting is that We need to get resources. We need to update the project schedule. We may need to update the cost of the actual project. And these are examples, but what I'm saying is have an outcome, and this really will help you when to attract more people to your meeting. Because after we address those points, the team will be free to go unless they have any questions or feedback. Let's move on to point number two. Continue to improve your project management toolbox. Like I said, this is important because as you continue to grow as a project manager, the things that you used to use may not be used at another organization. I mentioned before where I've used everything from smart sheets to Asana to Microsoft Project to ServiceNow. Like I've used various tools to lead particular projects, and so the more that you can continue to improve that and be willing to be adaptable, the better project manager you're going to be. And the final and last point here, point number three: enhance and document communication with regular stakeholder updates. Listen, families, your stakeholders are your foundation, and you need to make sure that they're properly equipped to, if one of their managers or executive or anyone stops and asks them, it's like, hey, where we're at on this or on this particular project, that they should be able to articulate out almost the same thing as you would be able to. And it really just keeps the team focused, and by keeping them focused, it really improves the productivity level. So, family, I really truly hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, you have an opportunity to make a change, to make an adjustment to what you're currently doing. And for my new project managers out there or project coordinators who want to be project managers, these tips are going to be valuable for you in real life. Reason why I do these real life type or pragmatic type approach is because, family, I really truly want you to go experiment with some of these tips that I give you in your career, so you can have success in your organization. Until next time, this has been your boy ED. You know my motto, you know my slogan. I don't know why I'm doing my head like that, but it just felt good to just be like, okay. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much, family, for watching today's episode. Until next time, I'm out.